what Bachelor, I'm curious to hear like what you're like what are you thinking as far as like where it's headed, what it's doing.
I should I share my chart?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Bachelor, you don't mind us using this in the video?
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
I won't charge for it.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Free TA, subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to Coin Trooper, everybody. Yeah, so like yeah, so like technically the low it's I don't know, it's somewhere here. It's like on this chart it's not on, but on Bitmax it is.
That's
So
right.
it's just the test, but like that's the low of the monthly, and for me like this is where we had the big pullback, which was like I don't know 50%. So like for sure this was the high, and for me this was just taking out liquidity. Like imagine how many people bought here,
Right. Yeah.
watching news that it's going to 100K.
All the
And
dum-dums.
yeah, and that's why so many big guys could sell a lot, and this was like for me this was the flip zone. Like here this was the demand that like wherever, like you can make it here, that was unmitigated or whatever, but from here it would have needed to come and try to make a new high, like at least
That's right.
beat this one. And here they took control and they broke it down. So for me this whole chart, this is one of the strongest zone, because this is where, like, this is one strong zone where initially they took control, and like the origin of demand, of supply, and this is the like the immediate one, that like the minor supply on the monthly. And for me, like this is I'm not sure if with this push we're gonna get here, but because on the weekly we are already in an uptrend. So like this is another strong area for me, because this is where we broke down on the weekly first time. This was the like it started to get in a downtrend. Here we made an uptrend, but it was very short-lived. So like I expect to, even if we weak it but not close it. So like if like just imagine if like in, let's say, in 1 month or 2 months we're gonna be here, like so many people will be hyped that yeah, the bull run is back, and we're gonna just like hit it and then dump either here, or like what I would like to see here. But this is like more a personal wish that
Right. Yeah.
I want to buy here. But like, like maybe this was the bottom, and we're gonna just come back here or here.
Yeah.
But like for me, like this zone, I refined it a bit on 4 hour. Like we didn't, I don't see any serious pullback yet, because like it's still in an uptrend. So like maybe like we can come easily here. I don't know yet, but like for me we are still in an uptrend, but I don't expect without any serious pullback to pass this zone, like for sure. And this is like a quite strong zone on the weekly. Like maybe we come back here and then we go here, or we just, oh sorry, or like for example, like these are very unmitigated. Also this is unmitigated. So like this became a strong zones, especially after the big this big push, but so are these. You know, like
Mhm.
it was a huge dump, and we are just coming back to test it. So like you can see that, you know, like it started to slow it down, but we didn't make a break of structure to the downside, not even
Mhm.
like we made a change of character here, but for
Lower
me,
time frame, yeah.
yeah, we didn't have 4% pullback, so
Yeah.
nowhere here. So
Yeah.
I don't like I'm still looking for it to at this moment to come up higher,
Mhm.
and but I don't, and also another thing is that on the weekly it's pretty clear here, like this is how was Phantom was saying, like
Mhm.
inefficiency,
Mhm.
like here the price moved very inefficiently. So
Mhm.
you know, like I don't think there's too many levels here that it could like be a turn around point, but I'm sure that the
Right.
price wants to come back here to continue its downtrend. So
It's
like
just a matter of like when, you know,
yeah,
like is it now or is it in a year, you know?
exactly. So for me it's more like how I look at this range is that, like for me this would have been normal. Like it was like it had a pullback, then it had another break of structure on the weekly, and it came back and like it didn't close anything here. So we tried to make a new all-time high, and like on the weekly we did, but here
Mhm.
coming back we had like this was a strong zone, we had the reaction, also here we had a reaction, and like this reaction was from this leg already, and this leg was from this leg, and here like we should have at least tried to push above this, and here they took
Mhm.
control. So for me, like I haven't zeroed in on any zone, but like on the weekly clear, this is a very very strong supply zone, you know, and like the higher we go,
Yeah,
it is.
I put it right there on the body of that for
Yeah,
that,
but also
yeah.
here, like it's very unmitigated, you know, like even
Mhm.
this one could like, depending on obviously when we get there, because if we get there from just cruising past this zone, like this could be a very strong zone as well.
Mhm.
So I, you know, like at the moment I'm more trying. I don't necessarily want to catch the top here, but I'm trying to see when we will have the at least a serious pullback, so I can look for bigger shorts. But at like everything what I am watching to trade now, it's on 15 minutes and 1 minute, so it's like just very in this range at the moment. And I've been also experimenting with the sub 1 minute levels.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, I definitely think those are useful. Just you know,
You just
in
have to,
their own way, and you know, you just have to, you know, adjust your expectations for what they tell you. I think.
yeah.
Uh,
But for example, look here, this level, it's like uh on the 1 minute. Wait, minute. Like for example, this was where like this mitigated this demand, this mitigated this, and here we started to move away more seriously, except this area got mitigated here, and so on. So like this is a zone that, you know, like it's pretty unmitigated,
mhm.
that we came back to test. Wait, it's style, just so I can see it. So look, for example, on on 1 minute and under 1 minute. 15 seconds. 5 seconds. Maybe I played around here a bit, but like for example, this area here, this whole leg, this was a range that it was moving in a lot. Like let's just put like here two lines. Let's say you have it here, and then you have your stop loss somewhere here, which is like I've been like playing the risk to reward like 0.17, but like some zones are like which are very immediate zones, like sometimes it's 0.04 or 0.05. And look, oh, we didn't go that way, that down. But like sometimes I don't know, like this leg or this leg, like you can find the levels. I think here, like check this. Uh, 5 seconds. You can find the levels that like for example, it's exactly when you're looking, like on 4 hour and then you go down on 1 minute. It's exactly
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
generally, for example, look this level. I don't know if it got hit, but it's like like 0.04. But then if you continue the chain of thought, some levels are like 0.01. And like sometimes you can, I think it was on the short side for shorts, but like sometimes there are levels that are you risk less than 0.01 and you can go like 0.06 in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
And that's like 6-1 risk to reward. And I've been trying to experiment more on like to have a very short trades, but like for example how from this range it started to break down, it had a break of structure and everything, and how it tested back this level. And this level on like here was like exactly the same thing that I was saying. It was a failed reaction because it should have continued to go up, and here they took control. And like this range is like 0.03, and I don't know how much it moved down, but like you can get very high reward to risk trades.
Yeah.
But this is just for more like until I'm waiting for my bigger trades to get hit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's something that a lot of people, myself in the past have struggled with, is like learning. I've found that trying to understand like the macro, like the long term, outlook of something is much easier than like the micro, right? Like the short term.
Yes.
And I used to think the other way around. And I think that that's kind of the way they want you to think, meaning they, when I say they, I just mean like the people that are the market movers, right? Like they're the liquidity providers, whatever you want to call them. A lot of people call them the market manipulation, right? I mean,
the composite.
Yeah, like all markets are manipulated. I mean, that's he who has the most dollars is in control, so to speak. It's not that it's like they're not sitting there like like a lot of people say, like this like malevolent, like oh my god, yeah, I just want to be evil and like sit there in their lair, and like oh, I'm gonna sell and destroy
Yeah,
all these people. They're trying to make money, and
exactly.
they're not wrong to do that. Like we would all do that as well. Like we're not, like even like being a Christian, like I would still, like if I had a lot of this and it was time to sell, I'm gonna sell it. Like
Yeah,
I want to do good for me and my people, like I want to provide for my family. So I just think that was a good time to bring up the whole market manipulation thing. I think it's nonsense. It's chess, man. That's all it is. Like
for
this is
example,
like
here, like
compound chess.
here it had a break of structure to the downside, and it had like multiple break of structure, so it wasn't only one on 15 minutes. And this was the point where they took control, which was like a point hit here, but they took control and they broke it down. So like on smart money concepts, you say that this is the strong point and this is the weak point, right? So like they will try to go back and have, like build up their short position to break a structure to the downside again. And here, like for example, on 15 minutes, like these are like this level got mitigated here, this supply, this demand got mitigated here, this demand here, but like this big, week was like pretty, like untouched, like nowhere here. And on the same time, it had like on a 1 minute multiple break of structure to the downside. And like I think I this is what I was I showed Ben the other day, was that let me cut it closer so we don't have to move that much. Like on 1 minute, like even on 1 minute you can see it. Like this got tested here, this got tested here, but this thing, it was untested. And I just to make it, like let's say you put your stop loss here and you buy here, which is how much is 0.02. And like okay, it was the higher one. It was this one, I think that, yeah, this lag. But like like even this one, if you put it, wait, let me see, I think I was looking at it on 15 minutes. Yeah, so yeah, here it's more clear. Like here was the strong zone that it was moving on 50 minutes, and then it started to break down. And like this zone, even if you put it here, it's like like it's the most extreme zone. And even if you just take like 4R for here, it's like 1.2% down. And it's like you don't have to wait for it to break down completely. You just at 4R you take like you take your profits, and like you move on for the next until you wait for the big time frame trades. And
Right.
I'm experimenting more to see on Bitcoin, because on Forex is different, but on Bitcoin it's like it's so volatile that, but I found it, like I was back testing it, and I found it a lot of times even just for a short period of time, even if it's counter trend, but they are playing out, because here it was like a lot of money that started to short, and like probably not all of their position got filled. So the next time it came up, the rest of their position got filled. So a lot of time I found it that, like even if you are not right, but you can make your stop loss so tight that you can get out a 4-hour trade from it most of the times.
That's what I was impressed with when you were showing me the other day, Bachelor. It was like, even if we hit our stop loss, we just re-enter again next time it comes round. And the risk to reward is so refined. It doesn't really matter, does it?
For example, I had 2 longs here that they didn't plan out, but like, look, this long, I can show you on smaller time frame. It's like 0.18 and 0.245, and on you know, like, you can see that it moved away very fast, and it was unmitigated, and also this one, you know, and like these levels, you can put such a tight stop loss, and a lot of times it just dips in, it goes back until here or wherever, and then it breaks down. But you know, like at this trade, it's like, if it moves 0.8%, you are, you know, like, if you put $100, you are, you know, like, here you are $400 up. So it's, you know, like, because a lot of times I'm trying to wait for the big time frames, and it takes, you know, like, days, and I'm, you know, and by the time it gets there, like, the market structure changes, you know, and, you know, like, it's either, a lot of times I'm waiting for it to go back, let's say, a lot on 4-hour, you can see it, you know, like here, it had a 4-hour break of structure. Obviously, you wait for it to go back and to catch along, and it, you know, like, this is the next time it pulled back 4%, and then it pulled back 4%, and then I had another break of structure, and you wait again for it to pull back at least, you know, like, to 50%, you know, and it sometimes it's so volatile, it rarely does, and then sometimes it pulls back to 50%, and it even stops you out, you know. So like, I think a lot, you know, to make day-to-day trades on these 15-minute, 1 minute, and 5 seconds, a lot of times it's more reliable, because you know, like, you can get the chain of the demand or the supply, and you can follow it.